Hey guys, and welcome back. Today is my November inspired makeup look. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, but I'm going to be playing with this palette from LuXX Revolution. So I want to play around with some of these shades in here. And yeah, we're just going to see where it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with my eyes today, but I'm going to start by taking this shade right here, which is a matte, kind of like a rosy brown. Honestly, I should probably plan these makeup looks out a little bit more because I always sit down without knowing. Oh, forgot. I was going to use some of these. These are the e.l.f. Line and Define eye tapes. I'm going to cut this in half because it seems kind of long. And try and get the placement the same. I actually just think my eyes are very different shapes. It's always like hard when I do winged liner. Okay, that feels so weird, but I'm gonna go back into that rosy brown shade from the palette. Kind of drag and buff this in right up until that tape. So yeah, anyways, I have no idea what type of look we're about to create. I do wish I planned these out a little bit better so I'm not going in like blind, but I don't know. I might just take some of this brown. I'm gonna go very light handed with it because last time I used it, it was so powdery. So I just wanna make sure I don't grab too much product. And I'm gonna just apply this on the outer half of my eyelid. For some reason, I always think of like November as dark and gloomy, so this might end up being a smoky eye. I'm sure I placed this one wrong. It doesn't feel right. Okay, so I've just built up that brown shade on the outer corner of my eye. I'm probably going to build it up a little bit more as we move the look along, but I'm just gonna leave it as that for now. I think I'm going to take maybe, ooh, I don't know. I might do like a chrome look today, so I'm gonna go in with this shade. I'm gonna take the chrome shade and just start building this on the outer half of my lid. It's gonna look weird at the start, but hopefully I can blend this in as we go along. I actually really enjoy the formula of these LuXX Revolution shades. Normally I would use my fingers to apply shimmer, but for some reason with this palette and the metallic shades, I find I can use my brush and I get a really good color payoff. I think I'm going to take that brown shade we used in the outer corner, just a really light amount, and I'm going to use it to blend this chrome shade into the transition shade. I'm going to go back into that original transition shade and just blend right on top to make sure everything's smooth. I think I want to use some of this silver shade. It's just so pretty, and November is kind of rainy and gross here where I live. So silver seems like a really perfect shade for November. I'm going to apply this silver shade on the inner half of my lid, basically everywhere that we didn't place the chrome metallic shade. It's only the beginning of November, but I'm already starting to plan the 12 Days of Christmas, which is a series I do every year in December, where I post one video a day, 12 days in a row. And I'm starting to plan out which videos I want to film and post during the 12 days. It feels like it's so early and so far away, but I also feel like November is just gonna fly by. Like it's gonna be over before we know it. I'm gonna go back into that rosy brown shade and again kind of just use it to blend out a little bit of the crease area. I don't want it to be too blended. I kind of like the sharpness of the silver, but I do want it to be a little smoother. I think I'm gonna strap there maybe. Yeah, I don't want to go too much, but I want to add maybe a little bit of a wing. Ooh, do I even? Yeah, I think I need to because I feel like without the wing, it's gonna look a little bit funny. So I'm going to do my best to add a wing. I'm probably going to do it off camera. I'm going to use my ColourPop BFF liner, and then I'll pop back and we will start doing the face. Figured I would come back on to pull off the tape. I hope this looks okay. I applied the wing when I had the tape on. Of course, it's like a little bit wonky. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get with the wings. Hopefully once we add in the rest of the face makeup, this will look better. I'm gonna start with my primers. So I chose this for the month of November. It is the Poreless Putty Primer by e.l.f. I don't know how I feel about it. So I wanted to give it a fair shot this month and a good trial run. So I'm just applying it in the center of my face, like on my cheek areas. So basically the areas where I tend to get the most shiny throughout the day. Also where the pores are located. It's so dark in my room right now. I'm really sorry. I'm just using the window light, the light from my window. For foundation today, I'm going to just use my tinted moisturizer from Revolution Beauty. This is their Super Dewy Skin Tint, and I have the shade Medium Light. I'm actually going to just use this paddle brush that I got from e.l.f. You'll see it in my e.l.f. haul video, like my e.l.f. try-on haul. I put a little bit of the product onto this brush and then blend it out from there. I did really like this tinted moisturizer when I tried it out for the first time, so I'm excited to use it more throughout the month. I feel like it might be a huge favorite in the winter time. It also just evens out my skin tone without being overpowering. Like, my skin doesn't look flawless, but like it feels good. It's basically evened out, and my complexion just looks a little bit more put together, I guess. And I'm having like a flare up right here. You guys probably noticed, but I do have psoriasis, and these little like red marks are not pimples or acne or anything. They're just psoriasis flare-ups, which is so annoying and hard to deal with, but they come and go. So if you ever see those on my face, that's what they are. For concealer, I'm going to use the Pretty Fresh concealer from ColourPop. This is in the shade 50W, I think. Yeah, light 50W. And I'm going to apply a little bit here. I can't remember who I saw. It might have been Katie Jane Hughes. Oh, I can never remember her name, but I follow her on Instagram, and I feel like she puts concealer in like the inner part and then the outer part of her eye. So I'm going to start doing that technique, and I'm going to add it around my nose, on my chin, forehead, and anywhere else where I feel like I could use a little extra help today. Also using the paddle brush from e.l.f., but in the small size. I really like these e.l.f. brushes. I'm so glad I decided to purchase them. They were kind of in my cart and I wasn't sure, but I really am enjoying them. Just blend things out so nicely. I'm going to be extra careful up here so that I don't mess up the sharp edge or the wing. The blush I'm using is the Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint in Coralicious from NYX. I just cannot get enough of this blush. And you don't need a lot of product. Like, you really need like 2 little dots. It looks so weird right now, but you just need the smallest amount because it's so pigmented. And you do end up spending a lot of time kind of blending it in. But once it's blended in, it's the most beautiful, natural flush to your cheeks. I just love the way it looks on my skin, especially when my skin just feels dull. You know, on those days when you wake up and you're like, ugh, this is like a bad skin day. I feel like this blush can just transform your entire face. It just looks so pretty and effortless, and I really like it. And I always just blend out whatever was left on the brush on my nose and on my chin. I'm going to use my powder, which is of course the Milani Prep Setting Glow powder. I'm just going to set under my eyes, around my chin and mouth area, and also on the center of my forehead. Sometimes I like to set underneath my blush or contour area so that area there doesn't really transfer and it kind of sets down. Especially when I'm wearing like turtlenecks and stuff, I like to make sure this area does not transfer on my collars. And bronzer, I wanted to use the XX Revolution bronzer. This is their Gravitate Face Palette, and I'm just gonna go into this bronzer shade. Oh god, I put way too much. I was gonna tell you, this is my favorite brush set from BH. It's the Studio Pro 13-piece brush set. I think that's what it's called. It's just the best brush set that they have out there, I think. I like most of BH Cosmetics brushes, but if I were to recommend one set, it would definitely be the Studio Pro set. I think that is good. Hope it's not too splotchy. Didn't really set the blush with powder, which I just realized I probably should have. So hopefully it applied okay on top of that. I think I'm actually gonna add a little bit of highlighter just because it's in the palette and I kind of want to use it. I don't normally do this, but this is such a subtle shade. It only has like a little bit of a glow to it, so it's not too much highlighter. Okay, we are going to spritz the face. I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera, and then as you guys know, same old, I'm gonna come back to do my eyes and then finish off with the lip color. Okay, eyebrows are done. Setting spray is applied. So we're gonna finish off the lower lash line. I'm gonna start by taking that rosy brown shade, apply this to the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take a slightly smaller brush and I am going to use the brown shade first, and if I need to, I'm gonna go into that charcoal black. Might not need to, like this might be dark enough on its own, but I wanna just apply that to the outer corner, kind of connecting upwards towards the wing. I'm gonna go in with a little bit, because I just like to add a little bit of black liner, so I'm just gonna take the shadow, the black shadow with this small liner brush, and I'm only going to apply it really close and only on the very end, like the very tip, so that it kind of connects up towards like the liner. The wing, I should say, not the liner. I always get that gap between like my wing and my lower lash line, so hopefully that kind of fixes it. And I'm just going to take my brush and make sure everything is nice and blended. I'm just going to take my finger and go into this shade right here and apply this to the inner corner. Ooh, that's like way more intense than I thought. Wow. I had no idea that was so bright. Oh my gosh. Like that just like, ah. Okay, that was way more intense than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to curl my lashes, apply my Bambi Eye mascara from L'Oreal, and then we will be back with the lip color. That is the eyeshadow with the mascara. Everything's done. When I was doing my eyes, like when I was doing my mascara, I noticed that the whites of my eyes are so yellow. I don't know, I've never noticed how yellow my eyeball is, and I'm like concerned. I'm gonna go Google what that means right after this video. But for the lips, I'm going to use my Hike House Lippie Stick from ColourPop, but I think it's gonna be like too, I don't know actually, maybe it'll be okay. I was gonna say it's gonna be too dark, and I had another lip product that I was gonna add on top, but we'll see. Okay, so that is the lip color on. I do think it's too dark. I'm getting very like vampire vibes, so I'm gonna add a little bit of Swerve from Revolution Pro. I'm just going to add it in the center of my lips, kind of blend it out. I feel like Swerve on its own is too pale for me, but when it's like paired with something, it's not as bad. And that sums up this makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this November inspired makeup look. Obviously the wing is not the best. I think these are going to be helpful though. Like I feel like these are going to help me with my winged liners. I just have to get used to where to place them so that my eyes look even once they're done. Oh my god, I had lipstick all over my teeth. I am so sorry. I bet that whole outro I had lipstick all over my teeth. I'm so sorry. But thank you guys as always for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I'll see you in my next one.